Hey guys, this is Herbie, and this video I'm going to show how to port Pedro MEDEVAC to a different island and how to change some of the settings, so things like the AI, what helicopter it is, things like that, and what the stuff looks like. So firstly we're just going to port the island. So Pedro MEDEVAC is designed for this to be very simple. So the first thing you need to do is you need to find where your PBO is stored, so that will be wherever your Steam Workshop downloads things to. There will be an add-on or a mod called Pedro MEDEVAC, and then export the PBO to wherever your missions folder is. So I'm assuming in this tutorial you know how to do that. Once you've done that, open up Pedro MEDEVAC and then copy and paste, or copy your guys. And then we're going to make a new mission on Tanoa, where we're going to have our MEDEVAC, our new Pedro MEDEVAC mission. This loading might be the longest part of this. So, come along. Jesus Christ. Waiting. You kind of want it somewhere central, your location for Pedro MEDEVAC. Don't worry about that. So for us here, it's comms alpha. Some enough space. There's not enough space up here. So you do need a fair bit of space. Comms Bravo might actually be a good place for it. You do need a fair amount of space because you need the field hospital, enough space for the field hospital and the site. So we're going to copy and paste our units there, and then we're going to save our scenario as Pedro MEDEVAC. I'm just going to call mine Tanoa. Then you need to go over to your Pedro MEDEVAC that you've exported into your missions folder, and you need to copy and paste everything apart from the mission file. So copy everything, and then go on to Tanoa and paste everything. Then you need to go on to settings, and then custom settings, and then these are the various settings that you can edit. Close all but this. So you okay. First thing you need to edit is going to be the hospital position and hospital azimuth. This is going to decide where your hospital gets spawned. So I want my hospital to be spawned here, but it needs to be facing sort of that direction. So I'm just going to use a unit for now. So log the position to the clipboard, and then add the position there, and then the azimuth we're going to take from the Z angle there. Okay, that's our hospital spawning. Then we need our helicopter to spawn, so we're going to do the same thing, but over on this side. Position, where are we? Helicopter pause. And helicopter azimuth. You can also change that to add things to the crate in the hospital. This, you can either do an array of items like this, or do true, and this is for the arsenal in the helicopter site. But if we play in multiplayer now, we should hopefully have ported everything over as it was to the new MEDEVAC. So yeah, you can see the helicopter landing site and field hospital spawning. Let's make sure I've made enough room, because that would be slightly awkward. Again, loading. There we go. There's our field hospital, and there's our helicopter. So that would be the mission exported to a new island. Simple as that. And just to go over it again, the two things we changed. So in the custom settings, so we copied all the paste over, we went into settings, custom settings, we changed hospital pause, position of the hospital, hospital azimuth, the direction the hospital's facing, then helicopter pause and helicopter azimuth. And then that adds us a new mission, and we should be able to just go straight into it. Christ, Tanoa is going to be an interesting one to do it on. Not looking forward to going to that one. Okay, so that's porting the island. But this being Tanoa, we don't want just any enemies. So other things I forgot, sorry. You've got to do the same for your fuel truck, repair truck and ammo truck. So we'll just quickly add them. We'll add them here. Again, for this one you might want to put a hemp down to make sure it fits. That's all very wobbly. Let's do it on the path, that makes sense. Because they probably just spawned somewhere and exploded. So again, just position and azimuth. We can have the azimuth be the same for all three, pointing the same way. And 1, 2, 3. But say we want to choose a different type of helicopter. So that's what we'll move on to next time. Next, changing the helicopter. So that's added. What we've just done is we've just moved the fuel, repair and ammo trucks, so that they'll be along the road there. But I want to change the type of helicopter. Chinooks are boring. I want to change it to be a, let's go with a Ghost Hawk. So all we need to do is get the class name of the Ghost Hawk. So if you get drag in which helicopter you want to use, right click on it, go to log classes to clipboard, and then back on custom settings.sqf where it says heli type, replace the text there with your helicopter, and then delete this one. So now this time when I load in, the difference will be we'll have all the fuel stuff and we will have a Ghost Hawk helicopter rather than a Chinook. Now the reason I use a Chinook generally is so that you've got enough space. So I'll change it back. I'll see if there's a Pacific Chinook, a green one or something. Again, loading. Loading. So there's my 3 trucks. And there's a Ghost Hawk. Oh, I need to remember to delete my Grenadier that I used to get the position and azimuth. Let's just quickly check if there is. No, these guys got helicopters. It's going to change it back to be a normal Chinook, because I will publish this one quickly. That will. Do everything else later. So, next thing we want to change, what we're going to want to change is the friendly AI that spawns. So, what types of soldiers spawn to defend our base? And the reason we want to change this is we're going to change it to be Pacific soldiers. So, on this, you've got this array of the various different soldiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different soldiers, and there, what it uses to spawn the defenders. Now it just selects random from these. So the reason it's got the same one 5 times is so that you get more riflemen than the other types. So we've got rifleman. I'm just going to change it to be a Pacific rifleman. Pacific rifleman. Automatic rifleman, and a Grenadier. So it's using right click log classes to clipboard to get the class names of the soldiers that we want, and then deleting it. And then now when it spawns the friendly AI to defend your HLS or LZ or whatever you want to call it, it will use them. Now I also want to change what enemy soldiers. Now enemy soldiers can come from any faction. It doesn't matter if they're independent or Op4 or even Civ. It will set them as the right type of people, because we're going to use some syndicate soldiers for this. So you got squad leader, rifleman, sharpshooters, things like that. So we'll have these guys, and that is how you change where it says enemy AI. And as it says, the game does actually game does actually scale how many AI it spawns depending on how many players. The more players you've got, the more AI will spawn. Are we having... Yes, let's have an RPG launcher. Shoot down your pesky helicopter. Okay. Rifle. Okay, so now it will spawn syndicate soldiers as the enemies on this, and not FIA soldiers. So what we were doing there, we were putting units down, right-clicking on them, doing log, going to log, and then log classes to clipboard. Then same in that same SQF folder. That's the custom settings. We were changing the enemy group. And that's the basics for changing the arsenal, changing the helicopter, changing the map, and changing the AI that is spawned. Now, one thing you can also do is change what the layout of the helicopter site and stuff are. That's a bit more complicated, but I'll go through it quickly now. So to change that, you have to go back into your Pedro MEDEVAC Tallower or whatever your new one is. Click on Herb, and then these are all the functions. Yeah, all the functions to make it work. The two that we're going to look at are Field Hospital, double click that, and Heli Site. Now, this just uses the objects mapper to create the field hospital. So, if you were to create your own field hospital, you'd have to use the objects getter, I think it's called. I'll double check that actually. Objects grabber, it's called. So it's biz underscore function underscore objects grabber. So to do this, you'd have to create a new, or go into new scenario, and then stick a player down. J, and then use this to create your tent, medical tent, or have you put all your stuff in there. Then the position it's going to use for the hospital is the hospital position used in custom settings, and for this one, for field hospital, the important thing is you need so if you've got a tent like this that you want to hide the doors on, if you just do that, it won't work. But I'll show you this first. So the important bits to keep in this are you need some kind of crate to be your arsenal in the hospital, and some kind of tent to be your tent. So I'm just going to add just those two objects down. So medical supply crate there. So when I play this just in single player, there's no need to be in multiplayer now. So I'm going to stand in the middle of it, and then I'm going to use the objects grabber to grab the objects, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So you want the position player to be where your hospital pos is, and then you're going to use this function, which all you need to do for it is position player. You need the size, so how many objects are you grabbing, and the orientation. Or you could just do position player, call objects grabber. So position player, call objects grabber. Okay. And the data should be, there we go. If you open a new thing on your notepad, you have this sort of objects grabber here, and then you would just have to change, so you'd replace all that with that data. Obviously If you have a more complicated thing, you'll have more objects. And then you just need to find your tent. If you're using a tent, if you're not using a tent, you can just delete that script. Find which one it's at. So this line is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, etc. So if I was to copy this in, that would be changed to 0 because it's the first one. Find where your crate is in this, and then change that accordingly. Same with this one, you need some kind of laptop. Some kind of laptop to add the action to. This also it just chucks the laptop up a little bit so it's on the table, and same with the map because they were spawning on the floor. But just if you're using a flagpole or something, then find whatever your object is here and then do the select, so that it's selecting the right objects for your crate and a laptop, and that's it. You can also change the custom loadouts if you want. That's back in on here, settings, loadouts. This changes like the rifleman loadout, the AR loadout, the medic loadout, the surgeon loadout and stuff. It's not really that relevant because it was a CTOG guy. It's not really that relevant because you've got an open arsenal, so you can just change it. But if you did want to change your loadouts, you do it there. And that's it. That's all the settings. Ooh, no earplugs on this guy. That's all the settings done for a new Pedro MEDEVAC. If you've got any questions, just comment and let me know. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoy.